بسم الله الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu, my dear friends and fellows and students. Thank you very much for attending the 14th lecture of our leadership class. As you have been noticing this, that we have been discussing the major points that are actually encouraging or motivating employees, or that are key factors for the motivation of the employees. We have discussed almost 6 to 7 points, starting from find out what motivates the people who report to you, get people working on what's important to the organization, explain and train the employees, along with let people work, allow them to do the work and do not interfere in the work, be generous with the employees in praise and recognition, which meant that we have to praise them for the good work that they do and they perform. We have to give them a thank you note, a physical actually reward, and etc. We discussed expect excellence. We said that employees working in the organizations, or the employees employees like to or love to work in the organizations which are world-class organizations, which are successful, which are 5-star, which are extraordinary, which have a very good scope in the market. That's very important for the employees. They do not want to, majority of the employees do not want to work in the organizations which are unsuccessful, which are a failure, and which are not effective to them in the future, or the organizations which actually destroys their career in the future. Also, the employers are expecting excellence in good work from the employees as well, and they would like their employees to strive hard and to work hard and to achieve the organizational goals. The other point is the employees you have to, as a leader, you have to care about the employees problems and show that it in real. We said that leaders are actually creating circles and time for each and every employee to listen to their problems in the organization or outside the organization. The first thing is to give them time, give them some space, give them some time. That is the one point. Listen to them, listen to the employees, listen to them even beyond the third point. Listen to them even beyond their formal or official task. The fourth point, pay attention to what they are saying. Listen to them. Pay attention in terms of 100%. You shouldn't be busy with your cell phone, your laptop, your iPad, iPod, pen, pencil, or any other thing. And after the paying attention, after listening to them, after giving them time, then show that you actually care about the problems they have or the things they say. If they are coming across some problem, lend a hand, help them out to get out of the problems. If you cannot help them in that case, you can give them a consultation. یک مشوره برشان میتونین بدین. مشوره کدام پول نیاز نداره، اما یک مشوره شما میتونین که دلای واره ببرین. You can win their hearts because you have given them a good advice or consultation. You see, this is becoming one of our religious obligation as well. In hadith of the Prophet, peace be upon him, where he says that each and every Muslim has 6 rights over the other Muslim. The first right is to respond to their salam. The second, when one Muslim say assalamu alaikum, you have to respond wa alaikum assalam. And if a Muslim is sick, you go and you ask about their health. The other one, if he dies, you have to go and you have to take part in his death ceremony and pray for him and take part in the janazah. And the other one is when he sneezes, you have to respond. He has to say alhamdulillah, you have to say yarhamukallah. The other point is when he is for example asking you for advice, give him a good advice. So the hadith is like حق المسلم على المسلم خمس رد السلام وإعادة المريض وإجابة الدعوة. Yes, if he asks you to come to his house, or he gives you an invitation for a breakfast or for a dinner or a lunch, you have to go if you do not have a very serious problem. So you see, you have to care about the employees that are working with you. The other point that we are making today is treat employees with respect. That is very important. Now, you listen to them, you encourage them, you motivate them, but you actually do not treat them properly, with respect, with dignity, and with a behavior that actually demonstrates to them that you are actually a human being. Being rude, being very serious, do not showing respect is actually not helpful. It hasn't helped at all. Even if an employee is a very rude guy, it doesn't mean you have to be rude with him as well. You see, there are levels for each and every person, and for the whole a lot of people. Each and every person has a different behavior or different level of understanding. Sometimes some people are rude and you are a very good person. He becomes rude, he's actually trying to ruin your day. You do not need to be rude with him as well. If you become rude, you're actually going to his level. You have a certain level. ما شما یک level داریم، یک جای داریم، یک با اصطلاح یک مرتبه داریم و ما شما مثال یک اخلاق داریم. یک نفر بد اخلاق است، او بسیار بیادب است، گپای خدا نمیفهمه چی میگه، گپای زشت و دشنام میته. نیاز نیست که ما شما در امول لیول در امول رتبه مرتبه پایین شویم و مثل امو ما بیهیویر یا اخلاق داشته باشیم. با این خاطر if there are rude people, you shouldn't be rude. You should talk to them in a way that it does not harm your personality. His personality is not important, your personality is important. That's why it says in the Quran, from the characteristics of Ibadur Rahman, people who are close to God, who are actually God loving, God conscious, one of their characteristics is when they see people with bad language saying bad things to them, وعباد الرحمن الذين يمشون على الأرض هونا وإذا خاطبهم الجاهلون قالوا سلاما. And when they are going on a surface of earth and somebody or the jahil people, they say, the ignorant people, when they say something to them, they say assalamu alaikum. It means that I do not want to talk to you, I do not want to respond to the bad things that you are just saying. So it means that you shouldn't be rude as a leader. If you come across rude people, the last thing you can do is to fire them. But before firing them, there are other procedures. For example, talk to them front to front, give them time, respect them. If they still do not change, give them a warning. If they still do not change, for example, change their department. If they still do not change, so take advantage of like compensations, for example, the other type of justice that you can force them, deduct their salaries, and at least at the last chance you have is to fire them. So that's the last thing you can do: fighting, firing, and these are the last options. Never take them in the first. First thing is to talk, to debate, to negotiate, to consult, to advise, to suggest, then to help, to write to them through email, to, for example, then give them a warning. And the last thing is firing, which is not a likely thing, and sometimes the other procedures are enough to amend and correct a person and to bring changes in his behaviors. So employees who do not feel respect in an organization, they are actually leaving the organization, and they do not provide a lot of help to the organization. You see, if you do not respect the employees that are in the organization, they may first do not show interest in the work of the organization. Their work effort, their result, their output may be affected due to the disrespect they have received from the top level management or from the leadership. So respect is very important. If you do not respect, they wouldn't respect you, or even if they respect you, they wouldn't work as effective as they have been doing in the past. That is very important. So and if you bring more stress, what they will do, they will shut down, they will leave your job. You see, somebody is working for you for 5, 6 or 10 years, and you're disrespecting him because of your only one wish or something that you wanted to do and he didn't do it, and you are actually providing an environment that he leaves it. And this is a common practice in Afghanistan. بدبختانه مردم 10 سال 15 سال یک جای کار میکنه، یک نفر دیگه میاد از نفرای خود میاره یا کتشان چپ میشه، یک مثلا مشکل پیدا میکنه کتشان وارد رخصت میکنه. اینا نمیبینن که او 10 15 سال اینجا کار کرد، تجربه داره، از تجارب او استفاده کرده، میتونیم مگه ای رفت شاید دفتر ما، سازمان ما یا اداره ما که مشکلات روبرو شه. They actually don't care about that. What they care about is the only thing is their own wishes. That is why those people who are very much expert, who are experienced, who have been working in our organization for a long time, you have to treat them very gentle, very soft manner, and act or react with them in a frank environment. Otherwise, you lose them. You actually, your organization will be affected indirectly, negatively, let's say. The revenues may be affected, the organization image will be affected, and so on and so forth. The other part is now, if you want to respect, what you do, create an environment where differences of opinion can be openly expressed. You see, as a leader, you have to create an environment where people having different opinion can discuss their opinions without feeling shy. You see, human beings are having, each and every human being or different human beings have different opinions, different understanding about things. You cannot force somebody to adopt your opinion about the way you think. You see, for example, I give you an example. Even in the house, let's say you have your two brothers in the house, and one brother likes reading and the other doesn't. One brother likes reading, the other likes watching videos, playing games. You see, this is different. One brother likes to eat, for example, fish, and the other brother like to eat, for example, pizza. You see, these are different opinions, different things that people have. Let's say in Afghanistan, one brother is in one political group, the other brother is in the other political group. It doesn't mean somebody is not in your group and that guy should be made fun of. And the same thing can be applied in an organization. Let's say the president of the country belongs to one group and you are from the same group, but the other employees are from the other group and you are making fun of them. That's not appropriate. يعني امو مشکلاتی و یا امو اساساتی که ما شما در ارگانیزیشن یک سازمان باید مد نظر بگیریم، او این است که ما باید به رای دیگه نفر، به فکر دیگه نفر، به اندیشه دیگه نفر احترام داشته باشیم. یک نفر است که اندیشهش و فکرش از شما متفاوت است یا متفاوت تر است، این معنیش این نیست که خدا نخواسته شما او را زیر تأخیر بگیرین و به خاطر اینکه او همراه شما در تنظیم نیست، در به اصطلاح در گوند شما نیست، در تنظیم شما نیست، شما او را زیر فشار بیارین یا از وظیفه بکشین و یا او را تهدید بکنین. This is like this is not part of the organization's policies. This is actually a direct discrimination that is taking place in the organization. And discrimination is not allowed even in Islam. It's not allowed. Discrimination of color, race, religion, of age, gender, and of nationalities, and etc. This is not allowed. And God says that kullukum min Adam wa Adam min turab. All of us all are born from Adam alayhi salam, and Adam was born from clay. لا فرق بين عربي ولا عجمي ولا أحمر على أسود إلا بالتقوى. There is no difference between a white and a black, a red and a white, or an Arab or a non-Arab. All are same to God. The only person who is close to God, who is closer to God, is the one who fears God much, who is God conscious, who is taqwa. So you see, this is very important. You can discuss your opinion in the organization. You have to create an environment where the employees are able to easily discuss their opinions without being discriminated. But the opinions have to be within the laws, regulations of the country and the country's religion and their religious beliefs. That point has to be kept in mind. Please do not take me in the wrong way. Demonstrate respect by listening and responding to your employees' thoughts, ideas, and concerns. So you have to show respect to whatever the employee is telling you, the ideas, the thoughts that he has, the concerns, the complaints that he has. You should show him a respect. For example, an employee is complaining from let's say a human resource manager. He's saying that he's ما وقتی که 5 دقیقه من وقت مرا غیر حاضر میکنه دیگر را غیر حاضر نمیکنه. شما تو گفتن میتونین که تو چی فکر میکنی که تو مشکل داره و تعصب میکنه، تعصب قومی میکنه، تعصب دیگه تعصبات میگه که او را میکنم رایتون و دیگه پاسه ای نیست. و جایزی که ایده بگوین شما نیست رهبر بگوین که درست است، شکایت شما را من گرفتم، من رای منابع بشری گپ میزنم و انشالله که شما را در جریان میگذاریم. خلاص. So you see, this is a very good response. You do not need to make to go personal, to be personal, and you have to respect on what they say. You have to listen, respect. Foster diversity by demonstrating respect for the unique qualities that each individual brings to your team. It means, you see, in the team there are different people working. For example, there are 10 team members. Each and every one has or owns a different quality. What you do is you have to respect this diversity. One has a skill in one thing, but the other has a skill in different thing. یک نفر در بخش مشوره‌دهی خوب است، دیگه نفر در بخش مشوره‌دهی خوب نیست و مثل اسکر و میده و کار میکنه در کارهای فیزیکی خوب است. دیگه شما باید به احترام قائل بشین و هر یک نفر که هر یک خاصیت و کوالیتی رو داره، استعداد داره، او رو باید بپذیریم و احترامش داشته باشیم. The other part and the last point that we're making today is lead by example. You see, you have shown respect to them. Now be examples. Be an exemplary person. That is why the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, was an example for all the humankind. وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَاكَ إِلَّا رَحْمَةً لِلْعَالَمِينَ. He was a mercy for the whole humankind. He was an example for the humankind, and he was and he is still followed by millions and billions of people because of his character, because of his behavior, and because of his good morals. And بخاطر اخلاق خود با مردم یک مثال هست. هر نفر کوشش میکنه که روش‌ها و اخلاق سنتی او را دنبال بکنه تا یک انسان خوب باشه. حتی خارجی‌ها که مسلمان نبودن هم درباره‌شان خوب نظر دارن و میگن که یک مثال بود به جهان و he was a good commander, a good husband, a good leader, a good political leader, and he was a good friend, he was a good brother, and etc. And he was a good father as well. So the first thing is managers should serve as models for their teams and for the organization. You see, the managers and leaders should be role models for the team members. People should say that I want to be like Mr. Ahmad, for example, who is the manager and the leader of the organization, and they respect him because of his patience, because of his good behavior, because of his good work, because of his quality work, because of his enthusiasm for work. So he becomes as a role model. That is actually the thing we want in leadership, that the leaders should be role models. Think about all those leaders that people like. Why people say, for example, I want to be like Flanis Sahabi, because they know that they were role models for them. People follow whatever you say and do. باید در وضعیت یک رهبر برسه که کارهایی که او رهبر انجام میده other people start following and say the way they say it. You see, so if you want excellence and enthusiasm from your team, model excellence and enthusiasm is everything you do. You see, you become if you want to have excellence from the employees and from the team, you should be an excellent a role model for them to allow them to do things that you are actually doing and to have a successful organization. Be energetic, and your energy will be infectious. You see, if you want to be a role model, you have to be energetic. And what your energy can do is that would be effective, that would deliver them a good message, a message of an exemplary person, a message of someone who is energetic, who is positive minded, and who is doing things that are actually effective and efficient for the organization. By infection, we also mean the person who has the qualities of good qualities of communication, who has the good qualities of communicating, his skills, his excellence, his energy to others. And the very last point, if you want your team to focus on customers, focus on customers yourself. Lead and motivate by example. If you want your team to focus on customers, the first thing is focus on customers yourself. And this is a very important point. Focus on customers yourself. یعنی معنای تحت الذی جمعی است که شما خودتان سر توجه خودتان سر مشتری‌ها داشته باشید. اما اینجا هدفش این مشتری‌ها نیست. If you want your team to focus on customers, اگر تیم خودم میخواین که سر مشتریایتان توجه داشته باشه، فوکس داشته باشه، شما سر مشتریاتان توجه داشته باشه. یعنی مشتریای شما این تیم هست و مشتریای تیمتان باز مشتریایی هست که وابرشان صرف میکنن، تولید میکنن. And your customers are your team members. You have to lead them towards excellence. You have to be an example for them. You have to respect them. You have to listen to them. You have to care about them. You have to solve their problems. You have to give them free advices. And this is how it works. Lead and motivate by example. This was a very important point. Be a role model if you want to have a successful organization. Listen to your employees. Act like a role model. And respect your employees, as we say. Respect them with proper treatment. Respect them with listening to them. Respect them with helping them out. Respect them by paying attention to them. And only then, what's going to happen is your employees will keep you as a role model. And when you are kept as a role model, then your organization will have good output, and you will be a good leader. And you see, I have seen a lot of leaders. They never wanted to be good leaders. What they actually wanted is they actually wanted their organization or political system to be successful. They wanted to help people, to bring them into a platform towards success and happiness. You can read about, say, Jamaluddin Afghan. He was a leader not only for Afghans but only for India, also for Indians, for Iranians. That's why Iran says that he was an Iranian person. Read about him. You will know how exemplary person he was, how he led people by his character and behavior. So that was all about our class on the topic leading and motivating, what motivates people, how to inspire work environment. We have studied these 3 points with explanation. We had 8 points in each and every of these topics, and each topic had a description, and we talked about difference between leading and motivating. In the coming class, inshallah, we will be discussing 3 major points. The first one will be the circle of tolerance, types of personalities, ways to deal with various personalities. So actually what we're doing is we are going to discuss the personalities topic. What is personality? This topic is somehow discussed in psychology class as well, but we will discuss it from a leadership perspective, from an organization perspective, how to deal with various personalities. I have given you some hints in this lecture as well, that I said that you have to look at each and every person, you have to be audience oriented, and you have to treat them based on how your employees are. That's what we basically explained in our today's lecture. Before we end up the class, I would like to remind you on the assignments. We have to have our focus on the assignments. If you do not have focus on the assignments, you will not understand this lecture properly. and you will miss out a lot of points. And even I hope that you start studying a little bit on personality, what is personality, types of personalities, and how to deal with personalities, different personalities in the country. So that was all from our today's lecture, which was lecture number 14th. Thank you for taking part. Please do share your queries and questions that you have in the WhatsApp group. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.